we have more speakers?
Good evening, I'm Robert Brzezinski. I'm the president of the Students for the Second Amendment here on campus. We're currently unofficial, but we're working on that. I just want to say that I find the censure or the resolution to be inappropriate for a couple of reasons. One, as the ASUA, you represent the entire student body, and as you can see, there is an extreme division amongst the student body on how they feel. So to come out with a statement saying that this is how everybody views it, I find to be inappropriate. I don't think that you should go through with it. You should continue to look into the situation, and when you have good facts, hard proof that something is dangerous, then go with it. But as you can tell from this, that there are pros and cons to everything, and that for the people that want to carry, that are trained to carry, it's a pro. For those that fear guns, that don't think guns belong on campus, it's a con. So I just don't think the ASU Senate should really take a position on this, and then you should drop the resolution. And then also a personal example, I'm a security guard licensed in the state of Arizona. If I have to carry a weapon for my job, and I have to come to school immediately after, or if I have to go to work right after school, and if you continue to fight the resolution, or continue to fight the law that says I can store my weapon in my car, now I have to drive 30 minutes to my house, and then an hour back to get to work. So for me, as a adult student not living on campus, I have to give up about an hour and a half worth of income just to comply with something that doesn't affect you. It's not bringing a gun on campus in any way. It's in my car. It's not in your classrooms. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. And come talk to me afterwards about getting your class recognized. Next up is Jeremy Miranda.
So we want to go in and just go back inside?
We'll take people who haven't spoken, and then if we have time at the end, yeah.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Miranda. I'm a UA alum, and I've also taught 5 courses here. So one of the reasons why I wanted to talk, and which I wasn't going to do before, is because I haven't noticed a lot of teachers talking. And I know that we're a very busy lot, so that may be why. But I think it's important. So those of you who are in favor of allowing teachers to carry guns, I just want to say that, first of all, I really respect that you feel you have the confidence to protect the lives of those around you, and I'm confident that you probably do. Second, I'm deeply touched that you think I have that capability, and that people like me do. But we scholarly types are a pretty skeptical lot. I think any good scholar is trained to be cautious of anything and everything, to unhealthy extremes, usually. And so, I hope you'll forgive me if I don't trust myself, nor any of my peers, to do that. We have different jobs, and I think we're better left performing those. I just have a couple of other thoughts. So, here's an anecdotal story. A couple of years ago, when I was living in South Tucson, not the best area, my house was broken into by 3 guys with guns. And it wasn't the most fun night in my life, but it ended up okay. And they left, and it was all fine. When TPD came, the officer ruthlessly mocked me and kept saying things like, as long as citizens don't have guns, this is going to keep happening, kind of believing that it was my fault. And I really thought about what he said. Because I thought, maybe he was right. Maybe I was putting my roommates and myself in danger by not arming myself. But then I kind of thought about it, and yes, there was every possibility in the world that they would have just shot me and taken what little I had, my $40 a year salary. There was every possibility. But I'm fully confident that if I had armed myself, someone would have died. And maybe it would have been me, and maybe it would have been them, maybe both of us. But the odds are pretty heavily against me. But in any case, someone would have. And that's not really worth it to me. So, rather than this discussion over whether or not teachers should have guns, I would really like to see this debate turn in a different direction. Why not arm teachers with tasers? Give us flashbangs. But let us make mistakes, because we do that all the time.
Thank you. Next up we have Brian Morris.
licensing teachers at some point.
I'm on the fine line, and actually, I think the previous speaker just addressed my question. I just want to know if there was anyone from the UA faculty in the audience, and it doesn't seem that there is. I was just going to encourage them if they were just sitting in the room. Okay. I would encourage, I'd love to hear from some of the UA faculty, if anyone would be encouraged to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Ryan Klenke.
Okay, first off, I'm going to keep this very brief. I wanted to focus more of my attention on the Senate for this moment. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Senator Quillen, for your resolution that was introduced. Thank you, Senate, for hosting this forum and allowing me to speak, because I wanted to gently remind the Senate that while we are representative of the entire student population, we also need to make sure that we are keeping an accurate representation and taking everything into account as far as outside this public forum as well. And I will let you decide how I mean that, and then thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, we have Francisco Lara.
Thank you. I'm Francisco Lara. I'm a U of A student, and I have to be quite frank, I don't have the education that I should have, and I don't have the exposure to guns that I probably should have, and that is probably one of the reasons why I'm a little uncertain about this. I actually I've had some experience interacting with a lot of people that have more exposure to guns, and I think it's really opened my eyes to the benefits of having access to these sort of tools. I, however, would also agree with what the person that just came up here said, that a lot of people don't have this education to actually be able to implement these tools in the right way that they should be. I think that there's a very strong argument to be made that there should be more access to gun education, and then once people have access, that they could potentially move it. But I think at this point, and especially in the university environment where not everyone has had access to guns, it might not be the safest thing to do at the moment. But I'm actually really curious to keep on hearing what the rest of the other people have said, because I'm actually fascinated and a little interested to see how this argument could keep progressing. But just, I guess at this moment, I'm not really convinced. I also think that the people that have showed up to this forum generally tend to be people that are more informed on the issues, just generally speaking, at the moment. And I'm not so sure that it would be appropriate for ASUA to make a judgment, because it's going to be an underrepresented sample of people that might be interested on this campus, at least to this how this resolution might turn out. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.